This is a time.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining my video today. So we're going to be going over 10 secret tips in Call of Duty Warzone. Some are going to be controller settings, some are going to be in-game, some is because you didn't think outside the box. So some are going to be pretty great. I hope you guys will enjoy this video. I hope you guys can last through this video, and if you do make it to the end, please give it a like, please get a subscribe, help my channel grow, guys, and I greatly appreciate it. So let's just jump right into it, guys. Alright, so for the first couple of tips are actually going to be in the settings, guys. So the first one we're actually going to be going over today is going to be minimap shape. Um, so the reason why I say minimap shape is because with the circle, you get at least a 20% decrease in your map visibility. So that's why I say go with the square. It gives you more to look at in your minimap. And honestly, you can maybe in those little situations where you wish your minimap was a little bit bigger because you could see how close they were. Definitely go with a square, guys. Circle looks nice, but the square gives you more to look at. So that's the reason why I'm saying go with the square, guys. Definitely go with it. So that's the first tip, guys. So now we're moving on. Alright, so tip number 2 is going to be weapon motion blur, guys. I'm not sure if you guys have actually already looked into these settings, but honestly, I would recommend into disabling weapon motion blur. It gives away that cinematic feeling, that realism into the game, because sometimes in this, at least for me, guys, weapon motion blur messes up my gaming. I feel like it's too cinematic for me. Like I'm not trying to watch a movie while I play video games. So I recommend taking this off. It will give you less of a distraction to look at. It makes it less blurry for your weapon, so you actually know where you're going to be aiming at instead of kind of an estimation. So I'd honestly recommend looking into that setting, guys. I honestly think it's a very helpful setting. So look into disabling weapon motion blur, guys. Alright, so for tip number 3, guys, we're going to be going over the same thing as basically tip number 2, but instead world motion blur. Now, with world motion blur, this is honestly the one I truly recommend taking off because it gives you that cinematic feeling. So, say you have your sensitivity really high, and the moment you turn around, you swing around, I mean, it is completely blurry. You can't see anything. You can't see an enemy 5 feet in front of you. So, I recommend taking this off. I mean, it will immediately improve your gaming. It give you back that traditional COD where you swing around and you don't see any blurriness. So honestly, truly recommend taking off uh, world motion blur, guys. It's a lifesaver. You can see people from a distance without worrying if they're 5 feet in front of you, guys. So definitely look into it. Now for tip number 4, guys, we're going to be going over contextual tap. The reason why I love this setting is because if you were ever playing Warzone before the setting came out, I mean, it was completely annoying. You had to hold square, guys. You had to completely hold square to pick up an item in Warzone, which was a complete waste of time. You're sitting there like a sitting duck, basically. You're waiting to get get your head sniped off, and get sent into the gulag or get sent back into the lobby. Like it was just a complete waste of time. You would just sit there holding square, picking up items, or holding square to get into a vehicle. Now with this setting, contextual tap, it will allow you to just tap square to pick up every single item that you want, or tap square to get into a vehicle, or tap square to get off of a vehicle. So this saves a bunch of time. So if you ever had a time where basically you're getting sniped at and you're trying to get into a vehicle to take off and you have to sit there and hold square for about like a second and a half, I mean, you're basically done. You're getting knocked. Your team's leaving you behind because they don't want to risk the chance of dying because you went down. So just do it, guys. Switch it to contextual tap. It'll save you a bunch of time, and it's totally worth it, guys. Alright, so we're going to be going over tip number 5, which is going to be going over the perk High Alert. And if you guys haven't noticed, it actually got a buff, I feel like. It used to just pulse, the screen used to just pulse, but now it tells you the direction where you're getting looked at, and it pulses. So this is just extremely OP in Warzone, because in Warzone you're getting shot at from a lot of places, a lot of directions, you just don't know where you're getting shot from half the damn time. So this is actually a huge advantage for you guys. Like it's gonna change the game. It's gonna change the way of the game for sure because now you know where you're getting shot from. I'm sorry guys, I can't speak. I'm barely waking up from a nap not that long ago. But this is definitely gonna be a huge buff, guys. This is a huge buff in Warzone. But the only downside is because High Alert is with a bunch of OP perks in general. So it's going to be hard to choose if you want to choose High Alert over Pointsman or Ghost or Overkill. So it's just up to you guys, your preference. But definitely look into High Alert. It did get a huge buff, guys. So for tip number 6, guys, we're going to be going over boosting ranks, and this is pretty self-explanatory, pretty straightforward. The only way you're going to be boosting your rank is by doing trials in multiplayer. Basically, these give you XP, and if you have a ton of trials, you can just do a ton of them. You got a bunch of tickets, you can just do a ton of trials. So I honestly recommend doing it, guys. It's pretty fun. I like the trials. You can do quad races, you can do a bunch of stuff in there. I mean, it's cool. So this can actually give you a lot of XP, so you could be ranked up, you could rank up really fast. And then look if you have XP tokens, which will also give you more of an increase in your XP. So just definitely look into it, guys. So that's it for tip number 6. Now for tip number 7, guys, we're going to be going to Overkill Ghost. And the reason why I call it Overkill Ghost is because basically when you find your first loadout drop, guys, or buy your first loadout drop, use a class that has Overkill. Use a class that has basically your loadout that you're used to that is freaking OP in Warzone. Go ahead and use that. And then when you go ahead and find a second loadout drop, or you buy a second loadout drop, go ahead and get your class set up or your perk setup that has Cold-Blooded and Ghost. Basically, this keeps you under the radar from everything: thermal scopes, UAVs, heartbeat sensors. It keeps you away from all of that, guys. And basically, you're going to be kind of cheating. You're going to then after you get that set up with your perks, go ahead and pick up the weapons that you dropped from your other loadout drop. So basically, now you will have Overkill with Ghost, because now not only do you have 2 primary weapons, but you have Ghost and you have Cold-Blooded, and basically you're going to be undetected from everything and anything in that entire map, guys. So definitely look into it, man. Alright, guys, for tip number 8, we're going to be cheating self-revive, basically. So the reason why I call it cheating self-revive is because you can start, when you get knocked and you're kind of, obviously you're behind cover long enough for you to basically initiate your self-revive. So you can start initiating your self-revive, and right when you're about to finish your self-revive, when it's on the last couple seconds or the last second, make your teammate come and revive you, because now he'll take over the revive, and then you'll still have your self-revive, and you would have never used it. You're going to keep it, and you're going to have it for the rest of the game. So this is honestly a great way to cheat your self-revive, basically. So instead of actually having to use it, you can actually use it for a time where you won't have your teammate to actually take over that self-revive. You know what I mean? So now just go ahead and do this tip. It honestly helps. I don't think they're going to fix it anytime soon. I don't think it's a glitch or nothing. I think they initially put that into the game. So honestly, look into it, guys. Start doing that with your team. It will help you guys out. It means that you guys won't have to be constantly buying self-revives all the time, guys. So for tip number 9, guys, we're going to be going over fully loaded. Look into this one because it's honestly going to be useful for those people that, when you get knocked in the late game and now you have you have no weapons, you just won the gulag, but the only thing that's around you is a loadout drop, and you're going to have your weapons, and at least you're going to have some ammo to, get it to at least have enough ammo to fight, but you're not going to win, it. So honestly, look into getting fully loaded for your weapons, because just have a specific class with fully loaded. So when that happens, when you're in the late game, just go ahead and what I mean. Just go ahead and get that loadout, and you'll basically wreck these kids, because you're gonna have fully loaded on your weapons. You're gonna have full ammo on your weapons. So honestly, recommend looking into that, guys. It's honestly gonna be extremely useful in the late game. So just look into it, have fun with it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. But honestly, it will be helpful in those late games when you got knocked and the only thing around you is a loadout drop. So just go ahead and do that, guys. Alright, guys, so for tip number 10, we're going to be going over stopping power rounds. Honestly, this one's pretty short. It's a pretty small tip. The reason why I recommend using stopping power round, guys, it's actually because it's actually extremely fucking OP in Warzone. I mean, it's ridiculous how OP it is. I don't even think it should be an item. a special item in the Warzone because it tears through your shield and your health simultaneously at the same exact time when you're getting shot at. So say you have stopping round, say an enemy has stopping power rounds on you, and he shoots you. Basically, the damage that he does to your shield also transfers over to your actual health. So now not only are you losing shield, you're also losing your actual health. So look into using stopping power in those early games, late games. I mean, it's going to be shredding through kids. Kids are going to think you're going to be hacking, or you're probably going to get reported because you're ripping through your shield and health at the same time, which a lot of people actually don't know about this. It's barely starting to come to light. I kind of knew about it before. I thought it was just kind of a thing. I thought people kind of knew about it, but people obviously don't know about it. So look into it. You're going to be making kids so pissed because you're ripping off their shield and their health. So do it, guys. I highly recommend it. So that is the final tip for this video, guys. This is gonna wrap up the rest of the video. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up. Please give me a subscribe. I hope you guys will enjoy this video, and I hope that you guys love the video, and I hope that you guys can actually stick around and help my channel grow, guys. So thank you. I appreciate everything you guys have done for me.